do a little cheers, boys.
Cheers.
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 Get the big boy out for this one.
All right, we got a couple extra guests today. Special episode. We are halfway through our fitness challenge that started about 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
So we brought in some of the new guys that are doing the challenge, and guys that have done it before. Have you done it before?
Last year's.
Okay, so
Kind of.
we got
halfway.
Didn't get finished.
COVID came.
That's right. That's right. So we thought it'd be good just to touch base, see how we're doing so far, talk a little bit about the challenge, and maybe get remotivated for the last 3 weeks. So we've got Drew Salyer with us. Drew, it's his second year doing this.
Yes. Partially.
We've got Michael Robinson. Did you do it last year?
Yeah, it's my third year.
Third year. Oh, wow. All
First
right.
year was only weight loss, though.
Okay, that's right. That's right. And then we've got Andrew as well. Capizzulo.
Capizzello.
Damn. I even tried that before.
Just went over this.
And this
Spelling
is,
test after the podcast.
and this is your first year.
Rookie season.
Rookie year.
First year, second year, third year.
He's only been with the group for what, a couple months now?
October or November,
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that, yeah.
New recruit,
New
new blood.
recruit. So just a little history on the fitness challenge. It started off as strictly a weight loss challenge. So 3 years ago, strictly weight loss. We had a lot to lose back then. And so it came off pretty dramatically that first year. Who was the winner the first year?
First year was me. Yeah.
That was Mike.
Yeah.
So Mike took the cup the first year.
And then I think we got Jared in it the next year.
Yeah.
And Jared beat me by, I think it was 0.04%. And I lost 33 pounds in 30 days. But he
Completely healthy, by the way.
yeah, super healthy, and somehow he still beat me. Well, he did squeeze one out right before the weigh-in, and I did not. So that got it.
Now, which year, as we did the weigh-in, the second weigh-in, did I hand you a donut after you stepped off the scale? You guys remember that?
That's
Was that
right.
the first year?
That was when Ledgerwood did it too. So
Yeah.
he I think he stopped and got donuts from Jubilee.
That's right. Dosance, I believe.
Dosance, yeah, and he was kind enough to hand everybody a donut as we stepped off the scale.
So then that would have been 4 years ago.
That was. Okay, so this is the fourth year.
Yeah. So I think we've done multiple in 1 year too. So it might not be strictly year, but
okay.
yeah.
Well, I think we'll focus more like we've had a bunch of those weight loss challenges too.
Yeah.
This is really the second year of the fitness challenge, so we'll focus more on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Last year we started mixing it up. We added a couple of categories. We did some strength tests. We started our audio kind of media challenge as well. Digging into some materials, kind of encouraging one another to read some books, listen to some good podcasts, listen to some books. And then this year we added on that as well. We separated the audio and the reading challenge. We still got some lifting challenges as well. And then we've got a couple cardio in addition to that. So, so far, how's it going, guys?
Who?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it's going good.
We'll start with you, Drew.
I'll
Yeah.
Most of it's pretty good. Goal-wise for me when we started, wanted to get the body fat down, so that bod pod was cool. I'm excited to see what that's going to finish like. So when I started, actually learning a lot about nutrition.
Describe the bod pod for people who haven't
Yeah,
maybe,
so that
maybe
was
been in
it was
that.
different. Not what I expected. Definitely thought we were getting in water until we got there. Just fills up with air, makes some noise.
I felt like it
Somewhat
was
like
like
an
Austin
MRI.
Powers. Like I was Dr. Evil getting in the...
So
Yeah.
that's exactly how I described it. I feel like that's perfectly accurate. It looks like an egg,
Yeah.
like from Osceola.
Felt like I was in an MRI machine again. Those aren't fun. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. And that's the first time we've ever done body fat percentage.
Right.
So that was, I think that's going to be interesting this year because I have no idea where we're going to end up
Right.
after that.
Yeah, that was definitely different, but I'm excited about that one. That's the one that I'm reaching for. That's a goal for me. So I was trying to figure out how to lose the body fat. So after talking with Ryan and kind of doing some research, started with the keto. So did that for about 3 weeks, and then wanted to focus a little bit more on the strength. So I started bringing carbs back into the diet here about 10 days ago. So that one's been different, transitioning back to that. So
How'd you feel doing keto?
I actually felt pretty good. Energy was still up. 1 week in, I was starving. I think I ate that whole Sunday. All kinds of fat.
Like an ice cream sundae?
I have not done that yet, but I'm ready for one of those. But other than that, I actually felt pretty good. So nutrition's been the one that's really hard for me. I love Sundays, ice cream Sundays, and pizza and those things. So that one's been the challenge.
Nice. Ryan, you're doing keto as well, right?
Yeah.
How's that going for you?
It's good, man. Yeah, like I haven't had the experience of any hunger really. Like I think my stomach has shrank during the whole thing. Like I feel like I'm not as hungry anymore. But it's, I feel like it's a sustainable diet. I'm only planning on staying on it for the duration of the competition. But supposedly after 6 or 7 weeks on the diet, your body like learns how to burn fat consistently as a fuel source. So we'll see. We'll see if that's true.
You seem like you've kept your strength gains for most of it as well too, which is always the tricky part.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't lost anything muscle-wise. I mean, I probably lost some muscle, but my lifts haven't lost anything. I'm down almost 20 pounds, and like I haven't lost anything on the bench or squat that I've seen so far. So
You're down 20, really?
yeah.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
I think we're in trouble here, guys.
Ryan decided to take it pretty seriously this year. And, this is why I told him to get my name on the belt for last year's fitness challenge, because I don't
Might
know
be
if
the last
I don't
time.
know if it's going to be on there again. So yeah, I was on keto for a week too, by the way.
You mentioned that's actually something exciting that we'll get to share with the audience and actually the rest of the group here. So there's a group that I dubbed the Fellowship of the Belt, who we're working on designing the championship belt, and it's going to be awesome.
I'll give props to Andrew and his great rendering that we
I
used
had the
for
vision
it.
in my head
So
of how it should look.
we'll get that up there because it was fantastic, and I think it
Pretty
might
much
even,
used mine for the
might
most
even be
part.
better than what's on the belt. So yeah.
Yeah, I think it'll be great to have a little before drawing and what the belt looks like, and I think the audience can really see the inspiration.
You're not even going to be able to tell the difference, honestly. I freehand drew it, I think, on my kitchen floor, but the spirit of the belt's there. It's all there.
To be honest, I had no idea that you guys were still going down the road for the belt.
Yeah, we didn't include you in that.
Decisions needed to be made.
No, I totally understand. Just going to slow things down. All right, Michael.
Yeah.
Let's go to some of the physical challenges
Sure.
that we're doing this year. What's one of the main ones that you're looking at specifically targeting and you really want to improve on?
Yeah, rowing, because I feel like I'm real strong on the row. I can see something like in the high minute 30, 39, whatever, on my pace, and then I get about 500 meters in, I lock up.
Yeah.
I mean, I start feeling my glutes lock, my legs lock, and it's painful. I have to start just using all upper body.
Explain a little bit about the pace, because obviously probably listeners don't know what our row parameters were and then what the pace would look like. So explain a little bit about what that is and what you're trying to do.
So I ended up doing 1,000 meters, and Ryan has all the stats there in the spreadsheet, in about a pace of 1:50. So
It's 1:50 for 500
for
meters.
500 meters, right? So my total time would be that times 2.
Yep.
So with that, I'm losing out on that second half quite a bit. When I was doing something along the lines of, someone help me with the math here, 2 minutes 40 seconds, and I ended up around 2:55 or so. So I'm trying to knock about 15 seconds off my row.
Nice.
And then that translates with my run when I go around the track. We went to Stowe High School. We did the 400 meter. I got about 3/4 the way down, and the same muscles started slowing me down. I still got around 1:04, so I had no idea how fast I'd get
Which
around there.
I think we were all very impressed by that.
I think you
Fastest
led in
time.
both. Did you lead in both categories?
No, not in the row.
Not in the
Matt
row.
led
In the run
in
you
the
did,
row, I
though.
believe.
No, Ryan
I think my
Bowers.
brother-in-law
Bowers,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he came in at 130. You were at 134. I was at 135, and I think Drew Salyer was also at 135.
Okay. Yeah, so that's the main thing. I want to be able to build that endurance. You know, it's not a lifting thing. But as far as my benching and all that goes, I benched about 20 pounds more starting this challenge than finishing last year's challenge. So that was huge.
That's awesome.
And we did deadlifts last year, so I had no, a staple or marker to see how I did and improvements with my squats. But I've never squatted really and never maxed. And we do 3 reps, and I did 305. So to me, weighing in around 170, that was huge for me.
That was big, man. I think that impressed everybody. I know, for your weight to put that much up, that was impressive.
Yeah, so you've been with us for
March
2.5
of 2000 and
a couple years.
19.
Okay, so
Yeah.
quite a while. Do you feel like you've gotten a lot of strength gain?
Yeah, because at that time, the first challenge we did was weight loss, and I put weight on at the end of the challenge. I was almost 200 pounds. And then, so I definitely feel like I've lost that weight after the challenge, staying with the group. And then now I'm building a lot of strength going from last year's physical challenge to this year's physical challenge.
Yeah, your strength to weight ratio, I feel like it's one of the more impressive ones when you're benching close to what some of us that are well over 2 bills are putting up.
Mm-hmm.
It's that wide grip.
It is that wide. Get the widest bench
Trying
out of
to sell
anybody.
it. It's my secret, but it's out there.
He actually, you can see the rack here if you're watching on video, but he actually grabs outside of the rack.
I need a lift off. but
Around
I
the
get
weights.
it.
I will say too, we've talked about how the Core 4 came to be because a lot of people came and went with our lifting and our workouts because we did it early mornings, and I feel like Michael was the first one that's really stuck around since. So we can add you in Core 5. You're in there. So
Yeah, I'd say Michael's an Iron Man too. Like you're always there.
I appreciate it.
And like
Always asking for another day at the gym.
trying to get those bonus workouts in,
Yeah.
especially like recently. So, yeah, if there's a gym open, Michael's pretty much going to be there. So, Andrew, how about giving us an update of how the reading challenge and the audio is going? Kind of 2 different categories. Has that encouraged you to digest more info recently?
I wouldn't say digest more info. I would say better info.
Okay, yeah.
I am lucky that so I work in kind of a split role where it's like semi-manufacturing, semi at a computer, but a lot of times I can just throw headphones in and kind of go to town on what I'm working on. And so I feel like the audio portion is where I'm actually excelling. I feel like I've put a lot of hours in. I just wrapped up the 12 Rules for Life by Dr. Peterson, Jordan Peterson. And so that put me at like 35 hours of listened audio since the first week of January. Reading isn't going as well. I will say my wife and I, we're kind of going cover to cover on the Bible. And so we're currently in the book of Judges. And so my goal is to have Judges completed by the end of the challenge. So that'll at least get me some thousands in the thousands words to be competitive as well.
Very nice. Any other guys? How's it going?
Definitely don't have as much time to listen as I did in previous challenges because I'm not driving to work. And I think Mike has the same experience.
yeah, agreed. I pounded through I think 9 or 10 audio books during the last competition, and that's not going to happen this time. But I'm starting to pick up the podcasts. I don't think I'm going to be at your level. But we'll see. And then the reading has been a little lacking, so I got to pick that up. I'm reading the Gospel of John right now, so I got to get through that, and then we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I was going to say for this competition now, this is several years into it for me. It's like inspiring. You guys are inspiring me, kind of being some of your first times in. I feel like I've been slacking in several of the categories that I'm like, I'm probably just not going to worry about a few of these categories here and focusing on the strength, I think, more so than anything else.
Andrew just wants his 300 bench, and that's it. Like
That's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't know.
And
I think 2 people here are probably going to get it before me.
And
which
my
is
only
disappointing.
goal is to get it before Andrew.
And he's definitely there. You're probably there now.
Let's put it up. Let's put it up right now.
Tonight. We're just going to go for it tonight.
I think Ryan already has it.
I think so, too.
Easily.
And down 20 pounds. It's just,
No.
I'm disappointed in myself, really. We're only halfway through, and I'm already bummed with where I'm at.
Andrew, explain a little bit of what we ate last night.
Well, so we have community group, and 3 of us are in the same community group, and the wives always pick whatever the group dinner is going to be. So the one husband who isn't in this weight loss fitness challenge, the wife decided to do pizza night. So everyone brought pizzas and calzones and like all kinds of stuff like that.
Breadsticks and cinnamon twists.
Lots of carbs.
Lots of wings. Lots of wings, too.
Yeah.
Boneless wings.
No
fried.
salads or anything remotely good.
There was a salad, but I don't think it was touched.
A lot
Why
of
would it
beer,
be?
a lot of alcohol. Just not not what you want for a weight loss challenge. And I was like, I'll just have one piece, you know. I think I had 6 by the end of the night. It was bad.
One pizza.
1/2 pizza.
I think it was like, all right, let's just slice these pieces in half. And it was like, why are we even doing this? I'm just eating both of the slices that I just cut in half. So
Shout out to Siciliano's from Ravenna. It's my wife's hometown, and best thing to come out of Ravenna, other than my wife, is Siciliano's pizza.
I mean, where do they rank? I mean, pretty.
I mean, yeah.
And
good
this
pizza.
weekend is Super Bowl weekend. So tomorrow, we're recording this the day before,
Yeah.
and I've already got like a whole menu scheduled for tomorrow. Barbecue nachos. It's going to be the last big cheat day. So
I pretty much I'm going to just cheat the whole weekend. I had Mexican food tonight too, so
Yeah, I might as well. I just told him my cheat week that happened. So, I mean, we had Wednesday Mexican, Thursday KFC, Friday was the pizza wing night. So, Saturday's been okay. A little bit of bourbon tonight, you know. I already broke that from the
we
fitness
talked about
challenge,
looking
so.
at The Rock's Instagram, and when he has a cheat day, it's like 20,000 calories. So we're like, if you're going to cheat, you got to cheat hard, get it out of your system, do it in a short window, and then get back on the wagon.
5-6 days? Is that
3, it's just this weekend mainly.
okay?
you just have to eat so bad that you feel really bad about yourself.
Oh,
like
I
you've
already
got to
feel
feel
terrible.
That's a
gross and
qualification.
disgusting, and like your stomach hurts. And then the next day, you're like, I got to eat clean.
So I guess getting back to the challenge, we'll start with Drew over here. What are you trying to get from it? Obviously we're trying to do this to improve ourselves, to build our relationship with God through some of the readings that we're doing and all that kind of stuff. So what are you looking to get out of it? Why do you like doing it?
I think the camaraderie between you guys has always been huge for me. That's why I've always loved coming and working out together. But it's the mental toughness that this continues to build, whether it's been through sports or whatever the case may be. This kind of helps with that, I think, in life. And putting up heavy weight sometimes just helps with those things and help us push through, because there's obviously lots of harder things throughout life than just putting up weight. But I think it helps get us to those points where we can make hard decisions and things like that. So I think that's what I probably enjoy the most.
Same question, Michael.
Yeah, so I'm at a body weight where I'm happy with, but I still want to kind of cut some more fat and pick up weight. So I'm hoping I can do that as far as the physical side. As far as the camaraderie and such, I mean, I'm someone that can easily go back to old patterns pretty, habitually. And I can also stay in new patterns pretty habitually. So this is something that I found to keep me focused on accountability, not just falling off. I work for myself, so I can easily fall off. And there's not going to be a lot of people like, hey, what's going on? I can decide not to go to church for a long time, and people don't call me out on it. It's a big church. They don't know if I'm there or not. But, if I miss a few weeks here, I'm sure, and I don't want to do that. I enjoyed the fellowship. And as I mentioned, the last time we worked out, I know that enemy that likes to pull me back to, man, this is the flesh. And, of course, there's also the enemy, the devil, is your guys' enemy too. So in the same way I draw strength from you, I want to be that strength for you guys. I wake up early. We're going through the Bible app, and each one of us are picking a week or so study to go through, and at the end we get to talk it over. And when I wake up, that's the first thing on my mind to do, and I love it, So I don't even need to set an alarm, but I do. I usually wake up before it. I just enjoy this accountability. Walking in the Spirit, staying in the Spirit, having these new habits, and watching these old habits just die off.
So that's probably been one of the coolest wrinkles, I think, this year. I don't know who introduced that, like, hey, why don't we just all get on the same plan for the Bible app? We'll all just read it, comment at the end. That's probably been the coolest wrinkle I feel like this year that I've got a lot out of, that we're all reading the same thing. Hey, here's what I got out of it. And it doesn't take long to do, but yeah, just getting up, getting after it in the morning. You're probably one of the first ones on, and I'll get that notification like right when I'm waking up. I'm like,
Now
all
said
right,
he loved us
I
before
better get
anyone
in.
did anything.
First person to comment. So I feel like I've loved that. That's been a really cool part of this year. That's been different from all the other years. And I think that's definitely something we would try to keep going for the next year.
Yeah, I think we'd give the shout out to Andrew. I think Andrew Capizzello was the one that brought it up first. And I've used the Bible app for years, but I've never done it with the group of friends. And it is very, gives that accountability aspect to it for sure. I'm like, well, everybody else is commenting. I got to read this today and I got to comment something. So otherwise I feel like I missed something for that day,
Yeah, it was actually sparked. Ryan and I think it was the same weekend we were playing on the worship team together, and former guest of the podcast, Matt Knaby, was talking about how he has just a couple guys that are on there, and they kind of cycle through the challenges and pick it, and just kind of made sense. We're with each other about 3 or 4 mornings a week, so why not kind of continue that and expand it into the Word as well.
Cool. While you're talking, you want to hit that same question? What's it meant to you?
Yeah, sure. This has been, it's one of those things that it was a really big blessing when I needed it. Coming out of quarantine, like in May-ish, is when I really started digging into the podcast. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. You guys have a group of guys all together. And I was like, oh, man, that would be great if I could find something like that, or somehow get in the door with you guys. And let alone I'm sharing the stage with Ryan a few times a month at Redemption Chapel. And so somehow the conversation sparked up that my workouts were not very consistent. And Ryan was like, well, we're working out tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And I was like, all right, well, I'll let you know. And then by the time I went home, I knew if I didn't go on Friday, it would not happen on Monday. So I just said, all right, sent the text, I'll be there. And so just having a group of guys that are after it often has been a really big blessing for me. And so for the challenge, really losing weight has been my biggest goal. My weight has fluctuated pretty significantly from like high school on. I lost a lot of weight after my first year of college and then slowly kind of crept back up. So being able to do so consistently and healthily and maintaining that is something I think this challenge is really going to help with. And doing this, it's kind of inspired my wife to kind of eat better as well. And she's doing her own workout plan as well. So that also helps when your spouse isn't kind of dangling some poor food choices in front of you as well. So that's been a big blessing. So doing that, and also just kind of lifting weights for the first time since maybe my sophomore year of high school. I don't think I've squatted since I quit football. And so getting to use some of that again. And like you said, Drew, picking up heavy weights and, kind of challenging and testing yourself. That's something that I've enjoyed doing and getting back in the swing of things for.
That's awesome. And one thing, just tribute to you guys showing up. The more, people that have joined this has just made it better. Like we've got 13 people this year doing the competition.
Yeah, we have 13 on the spreadsheet.
13 on the spreadsheet at least.
I think 11 that have done everything.
Yeah, most people have gotten everything in.
And we hope that grows. So, maybe this is something either that will get more people to jump in, and we could even encourage others to start something like this.
Yeah, I've heard from people that are not in it that are encouraged by it and can see people don't do this kind of stuff when they start to get in their 30s and, fitness challenge, like why would we do that? But you can see like the different components of it. And we always talk about balance and the things that you're trying to do in your life with obviously the faith component behind it. And, it is all about that accountability that we talk about and having a group of guys that you trust and you're going through it with. It helps you to get going, because I know I wouldn't do it by myself. So, and seeing the new guys and other guys jumping into it definitely increases that motivation again.
I like seeing the growth too, like just, having Andrew jump in and just being able to throw some weights around and really getting at it after a couple months is pretty awesome. And, Michael's been consistent and Drew's been pretty consistent over the years. So it's just nice to see improvement in all of us, but also bringing in these new guys and having them take off too. because I was that new guy.
I feel like we also, I mean, we all have busy lives outside of working out together, and there's always a lot of things going on. So even over the years, you know, like we've gone through a lot of stuff. We go through phases where working out's a priority, and sometimes it's not. But you know, these competitions fall in different years, and we have different goals different years too. So that's part of the reason why we want it to be a little bit more diverse. So it's like, okay, we get to a point where we're not trying to lose weight. Let's try to do something else. And I think the more like well-rounded the competition has become, the more, I guess, open and different people can jump in and pick a goal and, you know, crush that one. We'll keep you accountable. And so, how about this? One more question. We'll go around. What are some things that you'd want to change or maybe look for in the future?
With the fitness
Suggestions.
Start with Drew again.
Throw me in there. This question. All right, tough one. Man,
What did we do wrong? What did Matt do wrong?
I do like the cardio strength aspect. Man, I don't know what we'd do different.
We'll come back to you.
The 400 meters in about 15-degree weather was not fun. I would like to change that.
So when we do the challenge,
Maybe.
This is a hard time to do it. Middle of the winter. It is cold. Some of those is kind of tricky.
I
Yeah,
would
maybe
like
we take the
another
run
one.
out.
I think another one this year
that's something I would agree with. Yeah.
to keep the momentum.
Mm.
Probably that would be the only thing that I would change is if we had a second one certain time of the year.
Maybe
If
better
by-
temperature.
If by keep the momentum you mean where Andrew can actually do it.
Hey, I was going to suggest
I
instead
wasn't
of a
looking at
run,
you when I
let's
said
do a
that.
swim next year. Indoor swim, swimming race,
Lake swim during the
lake
summer.
swim, Polar Bear Club, winter.
I think that's from the self-proclaimed Michael Phelps of Cuyahoga Falls.
I had a few records at the natatorium back in my day. So
Yeah, so I'm not a swimmer. So I would say a longer competition. 7 weeks is kind of short.
Yeah, we've played around with that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll
Or
be interesting.
Drew's idea about having a second one. So you can kind of piggyback and see, even though it's two isolated events, you can still see more of a growth over that extended period, not just during a competition, but in the off season, you're still increasing. And then having maybe both competitions tie together for a grand winner, you know. So
Yeah, we like stretch it out over a year. That would be
That's intense.
intense. But
I'm out.
we have like a short competition for a certain period of time, and then we have like a continuation 6 months later, and it's really the original starting point.
Yeah. So you weigh in at the beginning the entire time, fat percentage at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and then do the whole competition. Yeah. I mean that's something to think about.
There's your
right.
consistency right there.
there you go. Yeah. So, and you don't have to get discouraged if you fall off and you start drinking booze or drinking less than a gallon of water in a day, because then you can really pick up those other gains in the months where other people aren't so much thinking of the competition.
Yeah, I will say last year, like specifically with the reading challenge and the audio challenge, I keep a list of everything I read and listen to for the year. And the percentage that I read and listened to last year that was during the challenge compared to the rest of the year was embarrassing.
Right.
Once the motivation and that competition dropped off,
There you go. Right.
there's probably like 2 months I didn't pick up a book, nothing.
Sure.
So
Yeah, so
think-
that would help pick up a more of a constant study of whether scripture or other material.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna jump on the bandwagon here. I think doing like a 6 months later challenge, and I like your idea, Ryan, of keep the original numbers too, so you can kind of see really in a full year what your growth and strength or weight loss through the year would be. I think that'd be really cool, and I think you can kind of keep the same core components. So maybe the strength tests and the cardio tests stay the same, but maybe instead of an audio reading challenge, we throw in a new wrinkle like in the fall, summertime to kind of be seasonally appropriate maybe. So there can be things we can keep the same and some new challenges to throw in.
I like that. It's getting the wheels turning.
I'll mention too. I mean, at least you brought up the booze. We do have a bourbon for tonight, Amador whiskey, and we've got 4 of us that are out of the fitness challenge component of getting bonus points for no alcohol. So we'll call them out. It's I'm 1, and
Ryan,
yep.
Andrew, I'm
And
3.
Michael. And Michael, yeah. But props to Drew, Andrew C, and Matt for holding strong here. So good job, guys, and more power to you.
And I think for those curious, we'll release the the sheet that Matt came up with that kind of outlines the whole fitness competition with our categories and how they're judged and scored, and Matt's inspirational quotes that he blesses us with every time.
Did you like those this
I
year?
did, yeah. I feel like there was like Ariana Grande last year or something like that.
Doesn't get much more inspirational than that.
Yeah, so we'll post that in the show notes. We'll post a link. I'll probably clean up the spreadsheet, take off everybody's before pictures, so that
We want more listeners.
You can leave them. See some real hot dad bods out there.
I was gonna say you should put that spreadsheet behind the paywall because that's a lot of programming hours in there.
Yeah,
you got
I
some
do.
man
I
hours.
do enjoy a good spreadsheet.
Who doesn't?
But we'll put all that information up there, and any other things that we've talked about related to the fitness challenge. But we'd love to hear, if you grab a group of guys and decide to put this together yourselves, please let us know so we can give you a shout out on the podcast and encourage you along on your fitness journey.
Thanks for joining, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
Everybody, thanks so much.